nice breath in. Exhale that breath. Just allow yourself now to relax more and more. Because from this moment in time, there's nothing of importance for you to do except relax. Relax.
Hello, humans! Welcome to Scarlett Show Season 4 finale! Yeah! I hope everyone had a fun Thanksgiving. I know I haven't been super active online recently, but, I needed some time to collect my thoughts and get all my stuff together. First of all, I want to express how grateful I am for all the love and support I've had from you all of this year. It makes my heart full knowing that I can bring something valuable to my community and inspire others. That's honestly so rewarding. And the end of every season, or in this case, the end of every year, is such a bittersweet moment. But I think the best is yet to come, people. And I'm ready for all the new and exciting opportunities that 2020 will bring. Yeah, I feel motivated to make this grow and create more content outside of the studio. So expect to see more YouTube videos, more engagement on my socials, and a brand new logo soon. Yeah. And by the way, I'm open to hear your ideas, suggestions, or sponsorship proposals. I'm always striving to improve and provide quality content for y'all. So it's just me behind it all. So if you want to tell me something, send me a message, leave a comment, tell me what you want to see on Scarlett 2020. And now it's time to introduce my guest of the night, DJ John Collazo. Welcome to the show.
Yo, what up, San Diego, KCR Radio, what's going on?
What's up? You brought a guest tonight, right?
I did. I got my boy, my main man, Omar Frosto.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
What's up? How do you guys feel about 2019 coming to an end?
Man, it's been nuts. It's been a roller coaster.
It's been a great year.
It's been a great year for sure. Lots of cool events. Lots of house music, of course. And that's it. We're just excited for 2020, and you pretty much hit it on the head. I think it's going to be a big year for all of us in the industry and in house music, and we're just excited.
Same.
Hashtag same. And so tell me, oh my God, I'm just so excited to have you here because I see you play at Rich's all the time. Like we're colleagues, we're there, and you too. Like
Same.
I see you guys.
Yeah.
So I want to know, what is it that sparked your interest in DJing, and where was the first time you stepped behind the decks?
Oh, thank you, Scarlett. It's honestly an honor to be here, and especially for having both of us on the show. So thank you for that. And we really enjoy working with you, at Rich's, especially for Les Night. It's definitely the place to be on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
In terms of, DJing and how it all started for me personally, I was actually 15 years old. And so I got my first pair of turntables from the homie Martin Crespo, a.k.a. Pablo Neruda. He actually retired from DJing a few years back, but he passed the torch down. And I had his original pair of belt drive turntables that couldn't keep a beat for the life of them. So I learned on those bad boys, and just been DJing ever since. I actually learned to DJ and mix from a local legend you might know. His name's DJ Ideal.
Yeah,
Tomas
I had
Ideal
him
Serrano.
here. Yeah.
Oh, really? So he's amazing, and watching him over the years mix and beat juggle and stuff like that, I learned a lot from him.
And what about you?
I started DJing back in like 2010. But I mean, the thing that got me into like DJing was more of the first time I went to my first rave. Like first electronic event I went to, like it was it for me. Like I love this type of music. Like when I went home, I was like right away I downloaded like programs, and I was just like trying to learn.
What
but
event
eventually,
was it?
It was like some event down in San Bernardino. It was like for the massive, and it was like 4 clubs from Hollywood getting
Whoa.
together, and it was like when
Nice.
Fidget House was around, and like
It's always that first rave that changes your whole life.
Right.
yeah, definitely. So I mean, pretty much since then, I've been started to DJ, but definitely Casanova has taught me like how to play on the Pioneers. Like if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be playing like out in like the clubs or in like bigger events. You know what I mean? So like I'm really thankful
thanks,
for
bro.
Casanova and meeting him.
Friendship
Thanks,
goals.
bro.
Yeah, and
Mutual,
definitely,
man. It's
yeah,
mutual.
Definitely.
So how do you know that you wanted to make this a career instead of just being a hobby for you?
Well, Scarlett, it all started when I went to my first big main festival, and that was Monster Massive back in 2004. And so I saw Judge Jules and a couple of DJs on the lineup, Tall Paul, and these guys were just having such an amazing time on the stage, and just creating beats and putting out their vibes, and I just really felt that, and I felt that energy, and just being there in the middle of the dance floor while everyone else is vibing out to the music. I was observing the DJs, and I thought to myself, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life right here. And right then and there, I committed myself to music, and like I mentioned, I got my turntables, and I made it happen.
That's beautiful. And I actually want to talk about your mobile DJ business because I can totally relate. You're the founder of the Wedding Entertainment Collective, where you provide DJ services, event planning, lighting, photography, videography. That's pretty dope. Tell me how you got that started.
Thank you. Yes. So, actually my rock and, my wife, she's the one who kind of helped me, establish that business there. So, prior to being a full-time DJ and producer and event organizer, I was working in the corporate world, and my wife just saw how unhappy I was with the whole thing, coming home day after day, just tired and just over the whole job. Soulless. Exactly. I was a robot, and, I just recall, thinking to myself, this is not where I want to be in a few years. The money is not what it's all about sometimes,
No.
and even though the money was good, it's not what it's about. And so my soul needed something more. My heart needed something more. And so my wife, literally from one day to the next said, hey, you know what? I see how happy DJing makes you. I'm willing to put my whole entire credit line on the line. I'll buy you all your equipment, anything you need. Well, let's go to Guitar Center right now. I was like, all right, let's go. So we did, and she bought all my equipment for me. And then we were able to start up the wedding business. And so we've been doing that now full time for over 5 years as well.
That's super cool. Yeah. And I looked at your setup, and I like the simplicity of it, because I would usually bring like a whole T-stand with different lights, like lasers and strobes, and you have like your moving heads, like those work.
Yes.
I like it. Like they work, they give enough show. Like you just have like two moving heads and then like your lasers. I like
Yep. Very minimalistic approach. I think that a lot of people, especially in the wedding business and private events, we want to make it about the client, right? And I think a lot of DJs in that business tend to want to make it about themselves, for lack of better words. So we try to keep it minimal. Sometimes I even DJ with an iPad, and our stuff's all wireless, and people love it. I'm off in the corner, and we have bride and grooms and our other clients, and they're the center of attention. But you're absolutely right. We added a little our club lighting. I think we're the only wedding DJs and organizers that provide the moving heads in terms of.
My dad has moving heads too.
Oh, does okay.
But yeah,
cool.
My dad has a whole he has a big setup.
Yeah.
He's pretty intense. And actually, I started DJing. I started getting involved when I was 16. I DJed hundreds of events, but I kind of I don't know. I feel like I wasn't there anymore. I kind of grew out of it.
Yeah.
I felt that it was kind of repetitive because the customers always want the same thing.
Right.
They always want to hear the same top 40s or the 80s or whatever.
Right.
How do you keep it interesting?
So, with my little twist, I tell people I specialize in Latin American weddings. So, I add my own little twist to it. Sometimes they have me DJ, deep house, for the majority of the event, which is my forte, and it's great. Just kind of let me do my thing. And then, a lot of the time I play a lot of Latin music and stuff too. So I really like to go in the cumbia.
Yeah.
The cumbia is where it's at.
I play that too. Everything.
and it's synonymous with house music because, the BPM is almost there. And, it's just that polka, that old school polka, beat. I really enjoy it, but it's great.
Yeah, and it's funny because I always get people ask me, because I know that I've DJed for forever, and they're like, "Oh, you should DJ at our events, like a local house or techno events." But it's such a different experience DJing at a quince or a wedding than being in a club or a bar. Honestly, I can't handle that pressure. I can do I messed myself up. I can do a wedding or any quince or anything. But I don't know. It's different because I'm never gonna see those people again.
Right.
But here, all my friends are DJs. All my friends are producers. I can't do it.
Yeah. It's not for everyone, But I definitely enjoy it, and I think the main thing to take away is, for me personally, nothing beats seeing that groom's and that bride's face when they're walking down the aisle, and you can just tell it's real.
I always cry.
It's I'll admit I tear up sometimes too, and people come up to me and they're like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Oh, I promise I'm a professional." I just You know, I really,
Yeah.
I genuinely love seeing people happy and spreading that love.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I kind of miss it sometimes, but I think I'd rather interview DJs now. It's like my thing now.
It's a little more fun. you know?
Yeah. Okay, so what can I expect in the first half of the mix?
So first half of the mix, we got the intro, which is an original track produced by yours truly, and my main man Omar Frosto actually just mastered it last week. So
cool.
I'm 80% happy with it. I think it still needs a vocal, but I really wanted to get that out there because it really has that old school acid house tribal vibe to it, and it's a good intro for that mini mix that we made for the show. I think Omar will agree that, and I'm sure you'll agree that 20 minutes is kind of hard to tell a story, so we were able to.
I know. And sometimes like I have to cut it a little short because I feel that what I value more is like this interaction, like the interview.
Right. Yeah,
But
yeah,
like I'll try to get the whole mix, like I promise. But I don't know. I feel like we're already past time, but
No worries.
I think it's so important to get the story out there because like people
right.
can listen to your mix anywhere, but they can't really like know what's up with your life.
Yep,
So
that's right.
All right, so I think we're about to play your mix, and we'll be back in 10 minutes to continue the interview. So don't go anywhere, people. You're listening to KCR College Radio, the award-winning sound of state. I feel like I'm in a carnival or something. Like New Year's, woo! I feel
that's
like
the goal.
yeah, I feel like like the people that pop those things.
Yeah.
And then
The
just,
confetti, like,
yeah, that's what I imagine that's playing in the background.
Love it. That's definitely the goal. Keep that high energy up and
Yeah.
tell that story as the mix progresses.
What's up, people? Welcome back. Here we are. And before I do the interview, I gotta make some announcements. Are you a fan of podcasts? Make sure to tune in on KCR On Demand, the newest platform of entertainment from your radio host here at SDSU. Find us on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud at KCR College Radio. And lastly, Techniche is having their blackout event tonight at Rich's Nightclub. So join us for a planetary industrial techno experience. It's right before 11 when you wear all black, which shouldn't be an issue if you listen to techno.
Agreed.
You fall into the all black stereotype. And this is a 21 and up event, so have your IDs ready and come say hi, because I'll be there, like selling the shots.
That's right.
All
And
right.
she's great at it. And we love Techniche, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to the voice of Techniche, Mixoplix, John Bilotti.
Yep.
They're killing it. So I'm back here with y'all, and I'd like to know the origins of the brand Revive San Diego. Where did the vision come from?
So that's an excellent question, and I'd love to share that story. So Revive San Diego originated as Revive 619 many, many moons ago. It all started with myself and DJ Pro K, Kenny Lytle. I'm sure you're familiar with him. And so he was one of the first people that believed in the vision. And so we teamed up and, we started throwing shows. Our first show was at the Queen Bee Art and Cultural Center in North Park with Alma. She was the only person that gave us a chance. And we threw our first show. We had over 600 people show up. And so after that, the sky was the limit. We kept it going. And over the years, Kenny grew as an artist and, as a producer. And he went on his own path. And we kept it going in his name and his honor. And 6 years later, we're here now. We switched it up from 619. I went from Revive 619 to Revive SD, and finally Revive San Diego. And the reason for that, it's because it's a lot easier for people to Google us and find us if they type in Revive San Diego.
Oh, yeah. It makes sense. I struggle with that because when people type Scarlett Letter, it's like the book or
Right. Yeah.
So, I'm going to have to figure out how to make my show pop out when they type Google. So when did you start getting involved in Revive?
It was around like 2015 or 14, 15. Yeah, 15. Around 2015. We were doing me and my homegirl Jana. We were doing a show with Nazi, and it was at House of Blues, and we were DJing with her, and then we had met him there, and she had told us, "Oh yeah, these are the DJs. They DJ house and like." They're like in electronic music. And then Cass is like, "Oh, you guys really? Yeah, okay." We got there like so early to set up and everything. He's like, "Go up on stage and play for like 30 minutes because there's like nobody here. I want to see what you guys got." And then me and my homegirl, we got up there and we just started DJing. And ever since then, we like started working together. And
they killed it.
He's really like the person that kind of gave us the opportunity to actually like play at the underground events.
That's
and
beautiful.
Like more like we were able to play at House of Blues and Hard Rock and
Hey man, I just
There's a
showed
lot of
I just showed you
places
guys
at
the
basement,
door, man.
yeah, definitely.
You guys walked through it, dude. That was
Yeah.
dope. You know?
Yeah.
So what are you trying to accomplish with this brand?
So with Revive San Diego, we want to continue curating house music events. That's what we're known for. You know, we started throwing house music events, and I will admit, you know, we did cross over 3 years ago to the mainstream side of the business, and we started producing events down with RMD Group, Event Vibe, to mention a few, Five Group, couple of the larger production companies, and we started working with those guys, you know, to promote, you know, their already existing events and just kind of add to what they had going on. We had the opportunity to throw up our own stage, our own DJs and stuff like that, and that went really well. And so like now we're just kind of returning back to our roots, and our main goal is to grow our Thursday nights at Rich's for Les. And so, you know, we really want to make that the staple night for house music, all in San Diego. And, you know, the rumors out there are that it is becoming that slowly but surely. We started there in January of 2017, so this is our third year in. And it's been a blessing to be there on Thursday nights. And like I mentioned, you know, to you off the air, we love the vibe, we love the energy. The production is amazing. I mean, all the staff,
Yes,
you
oh
know,
my God.
Ryan,
Yeah.
you know, Leonella, you know, Nicole Lewis. She was, you know, great and awesome enough to share, you know, her night with us. And so our main goal is just to keep those nights growing and grow those to be like the staple house music night on Thursday nights in San Diego.
So what's something that you would like to do different for Revive next year?
Something that I would like to do different is focus more on talent and music versus the promotion aspect of it. I think a lot of people that know me and know Revive over the years, we were more so promote to play group. And, you know, I will admit that, you know, openly, that when people worked with me, they knew they had to promote and sell tickets to play. Now, though, you know, this year, you know, we kind of got rid of that whole entire credo, and, you know, we're just booking artists that have productions under their belt and that are slowly climbing the charts on, you know, the different, you know, platforms, music platforms. And, you know, our main goal is to bring better, I don't want to, sorry, that's not the word, to bring more versed, you know, artists that are a little bit more submerged into production and you know, understand, you know, music a little bit better.
Instead of people that have a following only.
Right.
You know?
Correct.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
sometimes people that might have a following might not be as good as someone that maybe
And-
there's a lot to take into consideration. Also, like
Yes.
putting that pressure on the artist that you need to bring this amount of people, so
Right.
this, you know,
It's not their job.
Yeah.
You know, we want our artists to focus on music solely. That's it. Focus on you know, putting on a good show, playing your tracks, and that's it, you know, and that vibe is what we have at Les every Thursday night. And I think that the DJs that we have in there in rotation are bringing it. And, you know, our main plan for next year is to bring in more resident artists to come in and keep them in rotation and just, you know, have them, you know, play their music out to the crowds.
That's awesome. So, what do you think has been your biggest accomplishment with this brand?
I would say that the biggest accomplishment with the Revive brand is meeting and just making, you know, connections, lifelong connections with people like Omar, like yourself. You know, everyone's just amazing. You know, we really enjoy meeting talented people and being able to help them get on stage and just spreading that the music. You know, that's what it's about. You know, as I mentioned to you before, you know, we're really in this for the passion of it and the love of it. You know, I've been raving since I was 9. You know, I'm 34 now, so I'm kind of dating myself. But you know, the main goal is just to continue making connections and that's it, spreading music and love.
Yeah. Do you want to add to that?
Well, I mean, definitely, you know, like what Castle, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's everything he said is what Revive is about, you know, bringing people together and meeting people, talented people as well. And as well as, like he was saying, to put on what he was talking about, Rich, is like putting people that have talent, you know, and yeah, there's like you were saying, people have a lot of following, but they're like, how do you know they're going to pull that crowd in that actual location?
And keep the vibe, right? I think it's
Right.
it's all about the vibe.
Yeah.
That's important. You know, the vibe's important for sure.
So, what do you think sets you apart from the rest?
I think that what sets us apart from the rest, and I'll take this out, and then maybe you can kind of add a little bit. In my personal opinion, is that you know, we don't, when we go into something or into producing a unique event or show or whether it's playing on stage or, you know, curating a set for the night, we put, you know, all into it, you know, our heart and soul, you know, all of our finances, all of our time, all of our energy, everything we can. And, you know, people I'm sure that are listening will know that's worked with us in the past. You know, we try to stay organized and, you know, just, you know, keep it about the music and and all that good stuff. And I think that, for lack of better words, what sets us apart and that makes us stand out is that we do give opportunities to people that would not have opportunities if it weren't for us.
And you're willing to help people too, like what
Yeah.
you just did earlier. So
Exactly.
I appreciate that you come in with like a good heart, like an open mind, and we do it for the love of the music and the community.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're just mirror images of each other, We just vibe off each other. That's it.
So what is it that keeps you motivated? And you can answer too, like what is it that keeps both of you motivated to continue on this path?
I mean, for me, it's the music. I mean, I love music that much. Like when I get in the studio and I start putting all like the sounds together and making melodies and beats, it just feels right to me. So that's what really motivates me, the music, to continue to make it.
Yeah, I mean, Frosto hit it right on the head. It's just, it's about the music. At the end of the day, just hearing those frequencies and feeling that bass and, all that. Just, I think people, tend to underestimate the power of music. And, when you listen to a certain song or a certain beat, it puts you in this state of mind and consciousness that you don't know. And, it can bring you back to a memory from when you were a child or, anything. And so music's always there, no matter what anyone's going through, specifically if I'm, feeling down in the dumps or, if I'm not making music or mixing or something, I don't feel like myself, and, my wife tells me all the time, she's like, dude, you need to get back on the decks, like get in there and practice on your mix or whatever. And because she knows I'm feeling a little grumpy or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's just all about the music really,
So I want to know, why did you change your name to John Collazo from Casanova?
I appreciate that question. So, I originally started as Casanova, spelled like the, I guess like the correct way, because it was kind of like a nickname I acquired back in the day. My college years. I just
living it up.
I was living it up. I lived up to my name, and I was a very friendly guy, and I always had some good company with me pretty much everywhere I rolled up. And, people were just calling me, oh, you're Casanova. And so that just kind of stuck with me. And I made a cool logo out of it. And I did that. And then I met my awesome wife. And I just, out of respect for her, I switched it up to Casa Nuova, which was similar. But that's Italian for new house music. And I rolled with that for a few years. And now I decided that it's time to graduate from that. And, essentially, I'm now more mature now in my, in my adventure and in my journey. And, John Collazo has always been, on the back of my mind, and I actually just finished up a logo and all that, and I'll be releasing that soon before the new year.
Nice. So, speaking of that, you've been mentioning your wife a lot. Besides the role that you play in the music industry, you're a husband and a father, and I think it's important to highlight this because this is like the less glamorous part of being an artist. So, how are you able to balance all these roles? How do you make it work?
So, it all comes down to organizational skills, and time management. Like if I pull up my calendar on my phone, you'll see I literally live my entire life on a calendar, from like, waking up to brushing my teeth, to jumping in the shower, to feeding the baby or whatever, to spending quality time with loved ones. It's all down on a calendar really. And I can't, I reiterate that to, to those listeners out there. It's all about, planning stuff down, writing stuff down. And even if you're one of those people that execute well, like your ideas and thoughts, I always find it works best for me. Even when I know I'm going to do something tomorrow, I still write it down, whether it be in my phone or on a piece of paper.
If you saw my notes app, it's full of stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome.
You have to be organized.
Yeah, you have to.
And so I think a lot of people have the idea that maybe you should stop doing something once you reach like a certain milestone or like an age or whatever, right? Because there's like social pressure to follow the norm, right?
Right.
Do you ever get criticized for continuing your DJing career?
To be frank, no. No one's ever really criticized me.
Not like family members that are like, "Why are you doing this when you have family?"
No.
That's
some
great.
of my biggest fans, are my family and
that's
my loved
fantastic.
ones.
You got fortunate. You have a wife that supports you and your family, dude. That's awesome.
You got to have that support, and and I'm sure there's times where like, my wife and stuff will probably get a little overwhelmed with everything we have going on, but low key, she loves it too, and she like, she loves, events and Revive. And every time I'm down in the dumps, I'm like, let's just give up. She's like, no, dude, like, let's throw another party. Like we got this,
That's beautiful. Oh my God.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely challenging. I will admit it's challenging, but it's great. You know, you have a good support system and you love what you do. You know, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's the most important part, having the support system, because you can't do it alone. You need to have
Yeah.
people by your side that are going to
Yeah,
be like,
definitely.
you know what? You're doing great. Like, my dad is my number one fan because he's been in the industry like his whole life, and he still DJs, and he thinks like I'm a superstar.
That's
You know,
awesome.
so
That's
it's
so
like,
cool.
it's so cool, you know, to have that support from family members, from your friends. So yeah, we're fortunate to have that.
It's magical.
Definitely.
It's magical. What would you say, Omar? Do you have anything to add
I mean,
to that?
I
or-
agree with both of you. I mean, like my dad, he was in the music industry too, and
Yep,
he
that's
sees
right.
me the same way as you. Like every time I go out, he's like, "I'll be there," and I see him on the freaking with this camera. You know,
Yeah.
like it's awesome. You know,
It's true. Yeah.
it's a lot of love though. I got a lot of support from family, friends. You know, and my wife as well. You know, so
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, support. So I want to know, what are your thoughts on San Diego's electronic music community? You can start with like the good parts and something that needs improvement.
So, what I was alluding to, you know, off the air a little while ago was, you know, the difficulty in bringing the community together. It seems like other parts of the country and even around the world, a lot of DJs and producers are a little bit more united, for lack of better words. It seems that San Diego really lacks that community aspect in terms of like wanting to work together to build something as a community. I think, you know, and some people might scoff at this, but there's a lot of people that just, you know, don't want to work with each other. And you know, I've attempted to bring people together in the past, and you know, there's a couple of groups out there, and it's just everyone just kind of seems like they're in it for themselves. And you know, I really hope that we can change that here soon in San Diego, especially in San Diego, because this is it's becoming a big mecca for electronic music. I mean, we have festivals like the West Coast Weekender that we were talking about. We have Cross Festival. You know, we have you know, the hard rock events. I mean, you know, we have the Pride parties. I mean, you name it. I mean, there's just so much, you know, awesomeness happening in San Diego, but it seems like everyone's just kind of in their own niche group versus all of us coming together to create something in unison. You know, I think that's the biggest challenge we have in San Diego.
How do you think we can make it happen then?
Honestly, I think if just people just put their egos aside,
Yep.
that's it.
Yep.
You know, just put the egos aside. You know, and that's it. You know, come together, humble. You know, humble yourself. You know, and you know, I think I'll admit too, I've been in that position where, you know, we've thrown some big shows with some big artists. You know, and you know, I've gotten a little hot-headed, or for lack of better words, it happens to all of us. You know, I'll admit it happens to all of us. And you know, it's all about putting that ego aside and saying, you know what, well, let's do this together because we'll be stronger together versus competing against each other. That's got to
'cause
stop.
We're already like a really small community if you think about it. So if we're, you know, always fighting, or all the stuff that happens behind the scenes, like I know about it. You know, I've interviewed so many people in the scene, and that's always like the same thing that people bring up, like that issue, the collaboration issue. But I think it's gonna keep happening, like, unfortunately, because not a lot of people are in the same state of mind where they can be open about it and they can leave their egos on the side. I mean, it's easy when you're in a position of power where you feel like you're so freaking cool, like you want to do it all by yourself, but it's hard. It's hard to stay humble for a lot of people.
It definitely is, you know, and again, like you hit it on the head. It's just it's hard when you start to get into those bigger events and you see the, you know, a little success and all that, and you kind of get your feet wet. You know, I will admit, like it does kind of like, you know, bring that ego out in you, but I think that if we all just, you know, put that aside and we come together, I think we can do something. And you know, it's just we've kind of been staying in our own little bubble the last few years because of that reason, you know, and. You know, we're over that. We want to work with everybody. Honestly.
Yeah, please add
Definitely.
more to that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, right now, like, we've been in, well, like a few weeks, like in October, I did our first underground event in North County. It was like cool to have our friends show up and all that. But definitely, like, next year we want to do something bigger. You know what I mean? And especially involve more people from the community, in the house community and the techno community as well. You know, just have more people involved because. Exactly what Casa said. Like, if we don't work as a team, you know, we're gonna be pushing each other off. You know, like we all have the same vision. We all want the same vision, but we're all just we don't have the right. I guess you're right too. Like
Mindset.
the mindset, everybody's not in the right mindset. Yeah.
Well,
So
Yeah, well, I hope that we can spark something in people, whoever's listening or watching us right now.
Yes.
And yeah, To everyone that's watching, well, let's come together. That's the whole point of why I'm doing this show, so we can all kind of empathize with one another, like learn from our struggles, and we're all kind of like in the same path, like in the same reasons why. So thanks for that input. And now it's time to go on the human experience section, where I'm
right.
gonna ask you stuff about your mind, and I'm gonna ask one each. So
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll start with you. What are you most grateful for in your life right now?
I hate to sound cheesy, but I'm just grateful for my daughter. She really has changed the way I view life, and has given me the strength and the courage to keep going. And when I'm in there, at my home studio playing my beats, like she's my number one fan. In her jumper and all that,
So
and it's just I can't think of anything else at the moment. But it's really been a big blessing and a big encouragement having my daughter in my life for sure.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Now it's your turn. How do you stay grounded when you feel overwhelmed?
Well, usually I try to stay around my family as much as I can. I left my job last year. It was like a full-time job I was there for like 7 years, and I left that job so I could have more time with my mom and my sister and my dad and just everybody. Because I felt like I felt like my job was like kind of like I said, I was feeling soulless there, and once I did that, like I really felt that change of like mindset. Like I wasn't so like, oh, like this is the way it's supposed to be, and like I don't know, it was weird, but definitely just being around my family as much as I can, and my wife and
I love that.
my brother-in-law and everybody, my dogs, my cat.
Yeah. Shout out to my cats. Okay, so what do you enjoy about adulthood?
Wow. I don't enjoy anything about adulthood. I wish I could just go back and be a Toys R Us kid my whole life. For me personally, everyone that knows me, like I'm just a big kid. I'm all about having a good time. I don't take life too serious. I joke around a lot, and my family knows me as like that, just that big giant kid, like I'm always just making jokes and having a good time, and that's what it's about.
You have to enjoy life. Like you can't let age define who you are. I mean, it is part of you. Like you're growing. Like that's unavoidable. But like your essence, like the way that you are, like will stay like that forever.
Forever.
Like when you see like old people at raves, I'm like, that's gonna be me.
Dude, totally. I mean that is.
That's gonna be me. That's for sure. I'm in this for the long run. For a long time, not a good time. Yeah. Okay.
That's
so,
right.
what is your definition of success?
Wow, that's funny. I feel like success, I mean, as far as to me, it's just being happy with what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's pretty much it. Like, if that's success to me. Like, I don't think you can really, I don't know how else to define it. You know what I mean? That's what success.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too.
So when was the last time you tried something new?
So, believe it or not, I try something new all the time, So like earlier today, I tried a new haircut. So I don't know if you guys know.
Okay.
So I tried a new haircut to see how that works. But I think it's important to like get out of your comfort zone and try new things all the time, whether it's food, whether it's music, anything in general, just getting out there and trying new things. Should be a goal for everybody, I think.
Yes, I agree 100%. I love to experiment with everything, so I feel you. And, it's your turn. So, what do you think you could never, ever give up?
Oh, that's a good one.
Dang. There's a lot of things I would give up. Or just one?
Okay, wow. How about a top 3 to make it easier on you?
There we go.
All right. Well, my drum set for sure.
Drum set number 1.
That's a given.
I guess just my drum set.
All right, just narrow it down to one thing.
I was like, so many. I can't top 3 that.
That was the first thing that came to your mind. It's valid.
Yeah, because it's still up. That's why.
Okay, John, what do you think? Do you say what's on your mind all the time?
I do, and I think that tends to get me in trouble. I speak my mind a lot before I think, And you know, a lot of people that know me personally, sometimes I come off as rude or impolite, or I don't know, but I think that I speak my mind a lot without thinking, for sure.
Yeah, sometimes you kind of have to. Okay, so do you think the way that someone looks on the outside describes them on the inside as well?
No, not at all. No, you gotta get to know the inside of them.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think technology is making us dumber or smarter?
So technology, that's a double-edged sword to me, because it has been very helpful, you know, especially in the music community and all that. You know, in terms of like throwing events and organizing events, it's been very helpful. It's a helpful tool and resource for marketing and bringing people together and all that stuff. But I also think that people are slaves to technology now, and are heavily relying on like social media to essentially determine who they are as people and individuals. And I just want to say this to anybody going through anything like that. You know, social media does not determine who you are. You know, for the most part, it's all smoke and mirrors at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that we should all do a better job of having some social media time, but also having the real quality time.
Being able to detach from it.
Exactly.
Come back to reality and like realize that people provide like an image that they want us to see. Really.
Right.
You know,
right.
that's not reality. That's just highlights of the best parts of your life.
The best parts of your life.
I mean, let's be real. I don't like to post my personal stuff like when I'm struggling or something. I don't think people need to know that.
Definitely.
Right. It's personal.
It's personal.
Yeah. You know?
I mean, some people like to post everything, but I'm not that type of person.
Yeah, neither am I. I'm not one of those people. I think once or twice maybe in like the last like 10 years I've had social media, I've done something, but yeah, I try to stay away from posting your personal stuff.
Yeah, you
there.
don't want something to bite you in the butt.
Later in life, dude, you said this. Like,
okay, so it's time for the Scarlett letter. You're gonna have to choose an envelope. Both of you.
All right, cool. Let's see. So,
open it.
we just choose one, or
just one.
Okay.
Open it
All right,
and answer the question. It could be a funny question or a deep question, and we'll never know until you open it.
Oh, we both get one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm so glad I made extra because I was just gonna bring one. So
Yes.
it was meant to be.
It was meant to be. I love the Scarlett emblem you have on there.
Yeah, you can keep
That's
it.
super cool. Check that out, guys. I'm definitely gonna keep that. Dope. All right. Just dive right in here. Do you want me to read it out loud? Or?
Yeah.
All right. If you could make a rule for a day and everyone had to follow it, what would it be? Ask a stranger how their day is going genuinely.
I like that. I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
That's it.
Well, actually, I do that for my job.
That's right. Yeah, you do.
But like a random stranger, that's cool. I like that.
Random stranger.
Cool.
Just to kind of add a little bit, I don't want to take away from more, but like, I personally, like, people think I'm super weird, but like if I'm waiting in line somewhere at a store, the supermarket or something, I'll just spark up a conversation with a random stranger, and I'll just, hey, how's your day going? And some people respond and some people don't.
Yeah.
And most of the time people respond with like, dude, like, you're the first person who's asked me how my day's going all day.
That's
and
nice.
and it's actually going bad or it's going great. And I've had
cool.
people once or twice tell me, dude, like, I was feeling really down and you talked to me and I feel better, and
I like to do that with people in the service industry, like cashiers and servers, because I know what it's like.
Yes.
I'm like, how are you doing? Like, so I can relate. Do you wanna tell me your
Mine?
question.
All right, yeah. Okay, what small act of kindness were you once shown that you will never forget? And I was thinking about this as you're like, I didn't really get to listen, so I was like, but I was like, I remember one time going to San Diego and like we had just shown up to this parking spot. We were going to Music Box, and I think you were at the Music Box that day, and we parked, and like right when we parked, some person came up. They're like, "Hey, you want our ticket? It's like gonna be till tomorrow morning." I'm like, "Dope! Like this is cool." So I mean, I don't know. I think that's pretty kind. I guess.
Yeah, that's nice.
I mean,
it's like the small acts of kindness that you remember the most.
Yeah.
Because it's like without intention, you just do it because you're being nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed this interview.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here for the season finale and for all the valuable like insights that you brought. Like really, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here.
Likewise, you know, we're a mirror image of each other. You know, you're awesome, and it's definitely an honor. We were super excited, and you know, when you first told me about having me, I was like, dude, it's great. I'd love to come on and you know, bring you know, one of our guests, and you know, shout out to, you know, his partner J-Note. They're a duo as well who DJ, and she couldn't make it today, but I appreciate her as well, and the rest of the guys on the team, Tommy Maverick, you know, Preston. Those guys that, you know, have been rolling with me these last few years and just been stuck with us. So thank you guys.
Nice. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for everyone that's watching too. We'll be back in a few minutes to finalize the interview. So see you in a bit.
You know me and that high energy thumping house.
Yeah. Oh my god. Every time that I finish the show, I'm like, I want to party, but then like I have to go to work. Okay, y'all. So do you have any upcoming events?
Other than my residency Thursday nights at Les, that's it. You know, that's my main focus for right now. I'm still waiting to hear whether I'm going to be opening up the main stage at the Hard Rock for New Year's. As soon as we know a little bit more about that, you guys should see some more promo. Okay. I've been there every year. It's just I don't know how it's going to work out this year because I just had, you know, my little girl and stuff. So I might back out of this one, but we'll see. Hopefully not. But yeah, that's it. You know, just focusing on Les and making that the staple house music night in San Diego, along with making more music. What about you, O?
Oh, well, this month, me and my homegirl Jano, we have an event at Boers on the 19th of December. We're going to be celebrating my birthday that day. And then on New Year's, we have a Pier Day Club down in Oceanside at Hello Betty's. That's going to be fun for New Year's Eve.
Nice.
And yeah, I think and then Les on next week on Thursday on the 12th.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have any last shout outs or anything that you'd like your fans to know?
Yeah, I mean, shout outs to, you know, all of my LGBT community out there in Hillcrest, which is nightclub. I love you guys. Everyone in there, you know, like I said, Ryan, Leonella, Nicole, Scarlett, of course, you know, AJ, you the man. We appreciate you. Adrian, you know, you're always great on the lights too. Appreciate you. You know, everybody out there, and then just to all of our fam out there, all of the people that have worked with us the last several years and kept supporting our vision. Just thank you guys. We wouldn't be here without you. Much love.
Yeah, much love.
Yeah, shout out to my parents. I love you guys. I love my dad, my mom. She always listens to my show. My family, my friends.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Yeah, my friends, which are like my extended family, because I'm an only child. You know. Shout out to all the people that come up to me when I go out on events. It's like, are you Scarlett Letter? I'm like, yeah. It's so amazing. Weird. It's so fun. It's like, it's kind of like, it means that I'm making an impact, and that makes me so happy, because it means that I'm making a positive impact in my community. And so thank you to all of you who have been supporting. Like, you're all like making the show alive. Like, you're all like the reason. So I love all of you. Thank you. Shout out to you guys for being here.
No,
everything. Like, I'm just so happy, and I'm so ready for the new year. Like, honestly, so many great things are gonna happen. Like,
next year, it's coming.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm gonna be uploading this on YouTube. You already know. And thank you so much. Like, once again, I'm gonna see you all at Rich's tonight, I hope. Right?
That's right. Techniche Blackout Party. Shout out to Rudy and John Velati. You guys are the mans.
You guys are, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Scarlett Letter Show, and YouTube. See you guys next year.
Yeah.